We've talked to a lot of people over the last couple of years, deep into Bitcoin, and it feels like you're kind of the missing piece. So it's going to be great to hear. I saw pictures of you at Bitcoin Miami hanging out with Mr. Saylor and a bunch of the other people that have been on the show. And I really like a bunch of the things that you say. I wanted to kick off and just say this appointment to El Salvador, can you tell me what it means to you and what El Salvador is doing that the world should understand? That's kind of what I'm curious if you could explain to people.
Yeah, so in the Bitcoin standard, I make the case for Bitcoin as a monetary asset. And I think a lot of the early analysis of Bitcoin was focused on understanding Bitcoin as a payment network. So people thought Bitcoin is here to replace Visa, MasterCard, Western Union, PayPal, these kind of essentially payment technologies. And the argument that I make in the Bitcoin standard is that Bitcoin is not competing with these things in as much as it is competing with the underlying monetary assets that can be run on these things. In other words, you could actually have Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and Western Union use Bitcoin. They are not competitors. They are orthogonal to each other. Bitcoin is out there competing with the currencies of central banks and with the payment rails of central banks for final settlement. And the other aspect, of course, is that Bitcoin is competing with national currencies and national bonds as the asset that people hold for saving. So historically, people used to use gold for saving. Then they used to use gold-backed currencies. Gold-backed currencies became highly inflationary, and the alternative is bonds. And people thought that, bonds offer a yield that allows you to beat inflation. But I think recently this has become pretty difficult to achieve because bonds yields don't beat inflation in real terms. And so I think Bitcoin offers an excellent alternative to that because it is an asset that is strictly scarce. In other words, there's no ability for anybody to make more than the 21 million that will only ever exist. And so therefore, it's something that resists debasement. And I argue that in the long run, you're likely to be much better off just holding Bitcoin without a yield than holding government debts, even with yield, because, governments obviously, they finance themselves from that spending. So they're going to get it from you. You are the product, effectively. You are what's being monetized when you hold their bonds. So El Salvador's decision to make Bitcoin a part of its treasury, to hold Bitcoin, is what I find the most interesting and most important aspect of it, because I think the long-term effect of this, I would argue, and I expect, is that over time, this is going to turn out a much better decision than holding on to government bonds, but holding on to US treasuries and other governments' bonds, which is what central banks usually hold on to. So I'm extremely excited about this experiment, and I've been following it closely for the 2 years that it's been going on. And so recently I got invited by Max and Stacy. You know them, our common friends, the legends. They're working with the Bitcoin office in El Salvador. They invited me to go there and give a lecture to young El Salvadorians who are working on developing their skills as Bitcoin programmers. So I gave a lecture, and I also had the pleasure of meeting President Nayib Bukele. And they offered me the chance to work with the Bitcoin office to be an economic advisor for them. So and I, of course, jumped on the opportunity because it's watching my ideas come into life is an extremely exciting thing, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I think, El Salvador is an extremely exciting country at this point. It's astonishing what this president has achieved. He's got something like 92% approval rating, because primarily not because of Bitcoin, I would say. Bitcoin's effect is still barely felt in the country, and I think it's a much more of a long-term play. But he's managed to fight a war against the gangs, and you hear about wars against gangs, but usually these things are turned into intractable, bloody affairs. But it was an incredible, decisive victory, and the result is that El Salvador now is one of the safest countries in North and South America, in all of the Americas. And it's truly exciting, and it's amazing when you go there. People would not leave their homes. People had no social lives. People could not walk in the street. The downtown was a war zone, deserted place where people wouldn't want to venture at night. And now people walk around, people have their kids out. Somebody was telling Max that they have a problem now, which is that their house is too big. back in the days of the gangs, everybody was always stuck at home, and now everybody's always out enjoying the weather and the mountains and the beaches of this amazingly beautiful country. And so it's a really exciting time to be there. And I'm really looking forward to working and trying to help them out with their Bitcoin policy.
Yeah, that's an amazing success, and those gangs down there are no joke. So the fact that he's had that success is incredible. And if you've ever gone to a place like Dubai, you know, you can see how much the citizens and the visitors there, they cherish. I mean, the thing about Dubai is that everybody who visits there it feels like they're employed by the tourism board, because they all tell you how safe it is, and you can plug your mobile phone in and no one's going to steal it a day later, and which is all true. And it makes it just a nice place to be, good for families. And look, I was at Consensus in Austin, Texas, and I can't say walking downtown there was the safest place in the world. So you make a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe it's safer than even places in North America these days. So no, that's exciting. And to watch, you know, a president, you know, really enacting out some policies and economics that you talked about in a book that's pretty surreal, isn't it? It's like maybe we are living in a simulation after all for you to be working there. So that's excellent. So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.